Hi, this is Brandon Smiley from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the seated broad jump. This is a great plyometric exercise you can put in your training programs. It's a different variation on your standard broad jump, so you can work on some mechanical issues with your athletes if you so desire. We've made exercise videos talking about the broad jump and the seated box jump. Basically, we're going to take those two exercises, combine them together, and we got this one where we're going to sit on something, but we're going to jump from distance instead of height. So all we need is something we can sit on. That way you can play around with the mechanics of where your hips are. You can start at different positions. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to start with this height here because this is actually pretty good for me in terms of my hip position. The other one's a little too low in terms of from teaching. So I just mainly want to talk about teaching it, and then you can play with the box height with your client, your athlete. That's kind of up to you. Just like we're going to do with our seated box jump. All right, we're gonna bring our hands up and our hands are gonna come down behind us. As we come down, we're gonna briefly raise our legs up. So we wanna briefly raise up, and then as we come back, so we don't wanna over lean back. Let me make sure I state that. We don't wanna lean back hard like this. We just wanna lean back enough that we can push some force into the ground really, really hard. So when our hands come back, push the ground, then we start to do our jump forward. We'll start to bring our hands forward and jump as far as we can as we extend off the box. And then we're going to stick our landing, and then we would walk back, do another repetition, and so on and so forth. So in action, we're going to come back, reach, stick. Come back, up, down, reach, hold, and then come back. With most of your plyometric jumps, you're probably going to see the same kind of set and rep ranges. Understand that this is a max effort jump. We want distance, distance, distance. I don't care, what they're trying to accomplish. This is a max distance exercise. You get the most out of it that you can. Do something to make sure that they're taking rest between their sets so they can get that maximum effort every set. So usually you're looking at 3 to 6 sets of 3 to 6 reps. When you're doing this, pair it with something to get you that built-in rest time. That's kind of what we do. We've seen a lot of benefit from slowing our athletes down and trying to get most out of each jump. We also try to make this somewhat challenging, and then we'll mark each jump as long as we're not super busy. We'll mark each jump and try to encourage them to over jump that last jump or their best jump of the last 3 jumps series. So find some ways to make it competitive, especially if you got more than one athlete. Get them down there and have them try to compete against each other as well. Biggest thing you got to work on coaching is to make sure that they got a good start position on their seated option. Make sure they're trying to stick their landing the best they can. Their knees aren't coming in. They're not landing with their knees too far forward. Get them to try to stick that landing, walk back to the start, and redo it. That's all we've got for this exercise. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.